Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Phoenix, Arizona, it's time for Phoenix Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Hello and welcome to Phoenix Business Radio, broadcasting live from the Max 6 Entrepreneur Center right here in Tempe, Arizona, where we help build businesses and connect you with the right people. And today, I feel like I'm sitting in the infinity sun. That happens to be the name of the company, and the founder and CEO is with me today, Veronique. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Monroe, redo it for me if I botched it.
No, you got it perfect.
Excellent. I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to Phoenix Business Radio.
Thank you for having me.
So we're behind the scenes getting ready for the on-air button to go, and I look down and I see her gorgeous shoes, and I'm giving her a thumbs up. So maybe we caught that on the front end of this show. I think we're gonna have a fun conversation. I'm anxious to hear about your business and how you landed here. So if you'll just simply start telling us a little bit about your business. Who is Infinity Sun? And maybe you want to do the backstory first, however it makes sense to share with us. We'd love to hear from you.
Where do I start? It's so layered. I got into the sunless tanning industry probably in a really different way than most people. When I was a child, I was so white, my nickname was Casper.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it was to the point where I would be ashamed to show my skin, to wear shorts or bathing suits and to go out public because the kids would poke fun at me. And my father's side of the family are from Haiti.
I was going to ask what your nationality is.
Yes, they're from Haiti, and they are olive complected. So I was literally the white sheep of my family. So I really grew up with a complex about the color of my skin. And when I was 14 years old, I had no idea what I was doing or why I was doing it. All I knew was I was ashamed of the color of my skin. I didn't like being white. And so I started mixing things together to change my skin tone so I'd fit in and be kind of normal.
Yeah.
And I think,
gosh, what we do to ourselves as kids.
Seriously, I think I've been every color under the sun. I think I've been every shade of orange, every shade of brown.
To find that right mixture.
Leopard, I've been called yellow chicken. But it's the process that brought me to where I am today. And I really, honestly, having gone through that, I think it's really helped me to understand and to be much more compassionate and caring toward other people that may be struggling with similar issues of things that are so easy to change and things that we're so critical about that we really shouldn't be. But that was really what started me in this journey, even though I didn't realize that's the journey that I was on. Wow. So I started doing that when I was 14 years old. I had literally a little lab in my closet in my bedroom, and nobody even knew about it. And here's a funny...
The mad scientist hidden in the closet.
Here's a funny story for you. I also had rabbits when I was growing up. I'm crazy nuts about animals. Animals are like my passion.
I see. I see your sprays for strays. So is this a nonprofit of yours?
It is, and we'll definitely get to this later on. I'm leading to this Sprays for Strays conversation. So I had rabbits when I was growing up, and rabbits eat carrots, and carrots have beta carotene, and carrots can create the color in your skin orange. So I used to say, when people would say, why is your skin so orange? Because as you're playing around with color, you can tend to get different hues. And so I would say, well, the rabbits aren't going through the carrots fast enough, and I just made a ton of carrot juice.
Well done.
Drinking a lot of carrot juice. So that's what made my skin turn orange. So anyway, it didn't occur to me to study this. I ended up studying computers and technology and business, and I worked as a consultant to Fortune 500 companies in the area of technology development and implementation. I worked on the euro conversion project when Europe was moving toward the euro. I worked on the Y2K project, where, we were all concerned that, when the century would change,
I
that
remember.
everything was going to crash. So
Yep.
I worked on those kind of projects. I worked for Honda Motor Corporation. I worked for Bass Hotels and Resorts, so like all the chains of various different hotel brands. I worked for Universal Music Group, lots of different companies. Anyway, so that was the direction my life was going. And I lived in England for 15 years, and in France for 3 years, and in Belgium for 3 years. So I traveled a lot. I didn't really have the lifestyle to have a dog or to have a pet, but I was crazy about animals. I literally would go to the pet shops once a month,
Get
whatever
fed.
country I was in, to look at the rabbits, because I had a ton of rabbits at one point. That was like a thing for me. And then I developed an allergy to them. So I'd start going to pet shops. And on one of my pet shop visits, there was this little stuffed electric Snoopy looking dog sitting in the corner, but no rabbits. Now I'm gonna hit pause on that. So my favorite character growing up was Snoopy. I think one of my first words was Noopy. The first movie I ever saw was Snoopy Come Home. So I had this like obsession with Snoopy. Snoopy, my whole life was about Snoopy. So there was this little stuffed electric Snoopy looking dog in the corner. And I thought, he's so cute. And I picked him up, and I literally could not put this dog down. Now, I was a business consultant traveling 75% of the time. I did not have the life for a dog. I was living
Not
in
even
Brussels.
a mechanical dog.
Not even a mechanical dog. So I had this dog. I picked him up, and I was like, okay, we got to figure this thing out. I didn't even know how big he was going to get. He was this puppy. He actually grew to be like really a tall dog. He was a bearded collie, purebred. So a very fluffy herding dog.
Yes. And he ended up being huge.
He ended up being a huge dog. So I remember sitting in a room full of my female friends. We were like in a circle with this little puppy in the corner, all kind of looking at each other going, so who's in town next week? We all kind of had to collectively like take care of Snoopy while I was traveling. So my boyfriend at the time, his company ended up getting acquired, and he moved to Los Angeles. And he said to me, why don't you and Snoopy move to LA, and he could have an outdoor lifestyle, because it was raining in Brussels all the time. So it was kind of a little bit tricky. It's a big fluffy dog getting wet every day. So it was kind of a thing. So I thought, wow, this could be a really cool adventure. So of course I researched all the different airlines and the incident rates on transatlantic flights. And that was like a whole thing, but we ended up in LA. So it was me and Snoopy in LA, and it was I named him Snoopy. So I told you Snoopy
cute.
was like a whole thing.
Yes.
So I started consulting again when we moved to LA, and I started feeling like a terrible dog mom. And you're like, what does this have to do with spray tanning? We're getting
I'm on edge. I'm ready to listen and pay attention.
So
keep going. We're just gonna put that right in front of you. There we go.
So I started researching all the different industries that were booming at the time, and discovered the indoor tanning industry was a multi-billion-dollar industry. And there was a new technology hitting the market, which was an automated spray tanning booth.
Are you at this point tanning yourself? What are you doing for your own skincare routine, having grown up so young in middle school or junior high? But now what's going, if you don't mind asking you to earmark
buying
that.
self-tanning products,
yeah.
Everything, and mixing the ones, because not
Still.
one never worked properly. So I would mix different ones, and I would add different additives to them to make them more brown.
So still, this is still going on. This is your routine. Yeah,
but it was, I didn't even, for me, it was like most people brushing their teeth, mixing cut, because I just didn't.
By now it's perfected and you've got it down.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, working on it.
I had it down, but I don't even know if I still have it down at this point, because I'm always doing 20 things at a time. So I really don't take the time to perfect it like most people.
Well, your
do.
skin is beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
So you start noticing industry-wise that things are starting to percolate and happen, and you're curious.
So this like automated spray tanning booth came on the market, and they were selling distributorships. And I thought, this is cool. So I could like work from home and be with Snoopy all day, working in an industry that's in its embryonic stage, doing something that is fascinating to me. I'm involved in technology, a new technology, to do with like changing the color of your skin, and I can be with my dog all day. This was like the coolest thing ever.
It all collided. This all makes sense.
Yes, it did. So I flew out to where they were based, which was in Ohio, and then I bought the exclusive distribution rights to this. And then I started meeting a lot of different salon and spa owners who were using these like little pencils called little airbrush machines to tan people, and the results were really hit or miss. They would be streaky, they would be kind of orange, it would be really messy, and really the results weren't 100%. So Infinity Sun was born, and Infinity Sun is the first and only of its kind handheld spray tanning system that uses computer technology to atomize fluids to a very fine particle size. So when you do the application, the atomization is so fine that it goes very deeply into the skin and just creates like a flawless finish on the skin. So we did that, and we also incorporated high-end skincare into the technology. So we were the very first company to bring together ingredients that improve the condition of the skin. So
Right.
we're living in a time right now where people want to be tan, but they don't want the damaging effects of the UV rays.
Mhm.
People want to be tan, but they also don't want premature aging of their skin. And anti-aging technologies have gotten so much better over the last 20 years. So we really brought the best of anti-aging technology for improving the condition of the skin, preventing damage from UV rays, together with sunless tanning to really create an overall beauty regimen. So when people think about tanning, they think, well, you have to look like you've been on the beach in the Bahamas for a month and that's a tan, but it doesn't. There's a continuum. It could be anything from Casper, just getting the glare off
Mhm.
and being able to wear shorts and a bathing suit and not be totally self-conscious, to having that Baywatch, bronze babe look.
Yep.
You can be anywhere on that continuum that you want to be. So that was really cool because we brought something to the industry that wasn't yet an industry, and made it possible, for people to not feel self-conscious or just get really beautiful results or start to look like they're really tan. But at the same time, what we were doing was giving people the opportunity to leave their jobs that they hated, to start businesses, to create lives that they love, like I did, like I just did. I left an 80-hour-a-week, high-powered consulting job, earning multiple six figures, so I could be with my dog Snoopy, right? So I could create a life that I woke up and loved living every day. The idea that the dog's lifespan is so incredibly short, and that every day that I was hopping on a plane, staying in a hotel, going to work was one day less
Hmm.
that I had to enjoy with my dog, killed me. I mean, literally killed me. So now I became part of a movement to empower other people at a low price point. So you know, with Infinity Sun, for under $3,000, you can literally
Wow.
buy a business in a box. You can buy the machine. You can buy the solutions. You can buy the retail products. You can get training and have everything you need, mentoring and support on how to start up, run, and grow your own spray tanning businesses that give you the opportunity to create a life that you love. So for me, it's given me personally so much more than I ever expected. It's an industry that I look up every single morning with so much gratitude and think, "How did I get here?" I get to live the life of my dreams, the dreams that I didn't even know I had. I get to meet people. In what world would I ever have met people like Jessica Alba,
I was just gonna ask,
Paris
Shirley.
Hilton,
Oh, wow. So these are
Britney
folks.
Spears?
Yeah.
My company was on tour with Britney Spears on the circus tour. It's like, as a business consultant of Fortune 500 companies working in tech, you're not thinking celebrity. I remember when Jessica Alba walked into my office, she was getting ready to host the Kids' Choice Awards. And someone called and said, we have this girl, she's going to host an award show. She wants to come in and get a spray tan by you. And I thought, okay, this is cool. So send her in, and I tanned her. She was really beautiful. And, she walked out of my office and everybody was looking at me going, oh my you tanned Jessica Alba.
And you didn't realize that.
I was like, who's Jessica Alba? But this is what the industry brought me. I ended up
Right.
at Paris Hilton's house, teaching, her makeup artist how to spray tan her.
Wow.
We created a machine for Paris Hilton. It's now called Seafoam. No, it's called Bubblegum Pink. But at the time, we launched it as Paris Hilton Pink, and it's a little mobile spray tanning system. So it opened up an entirely different world. So I get to empower women. I get to meet the most amazing women every day. I get to meet women who can't afford, they're single mothers and they can't afford to raise their children, that go from feeling like hopeless and fearful of what the future is going to hold for their child to feeling like they have a burgeoning business, an opportunity to create a life not only that they love for themselves, but a future for their own children.
Yeah.
Doing something that makes people feel good about themselves every day. You spray tan someone, it's literally liquid confidence. It's crazy. People, walk in and they barely want to look at themselves in the mirror, and you tan them and they're looking, they're like, all right, I'm ready for this.
So fascinating we're having this conversation because it's the beginning of October, mid-October. And this is the first summer in years that I've spent as much time as I have outside. I've been paddleboarding. I hike in the morning, and while I'm putting sunscreen on, I've got a decent tan. It's starting to fade a little bit because I'm not out as often. And I just the other day was thinking to myself as I was getting ready, I'm going to miss having a tan because I go very white. I've got olive skin, Italian heritage, but I go white in the winter, and was entertaining the idea of like what would I do, like the products that are over the counter like you described. I'm not very good at that. So now I have an option. Can you talk to us about the health of it? We talked already about how people don't want to be in the sun because, of course, the UV rays, and we know how damaging that can be, and that it's it ages us more quickly. How safe is the product, and how safe is the process? That sort of thing.
Totally. So the main ingredient in all self-tanning products is DHA, which is dihydroxyacetone, which is a sugar derivative. It's either derived from sugarcane, beetroot, walnut, believe it or not. A lot of people don't know that, but it works on the topical, on the outermost layer of the skin, the horny layer of the skin. So it doesn't go subdermally. So what it does, well, there are actually two components to sunless tanning. One is the immediate cosmetic bronzer. That's when you take the mousse and you
Yep.
apply it, you see that immediate color, right? Those are pigments, and they can be derived from natural ingredients. They can be FD&C dyes. It really just depends on the product that you're applying to your skin. And that's temporary. That's the wow factor. That's what you see immediately. And it also washes down the drain within 1 to 2 showers. Then there's that DHA portion. And what it does is it creates a reaction on the outermost layer of the skin. It's called the Maillard reaction. So if you take an apple and you cut an apple in half, it looks white, right?
For a few moments.
Over time, it starts browning. So it's that browning effect. It's that Maillard reaction that just permanently changes with the amino acids in the skin, the color of that skin cell, until that skin cell exfoliates naturally off the
Right.
body. That's it. That's all it
What a
is.
fantastic explanation. And safe, right?
Totally safe.
Totally safe.
Yes.
And
Everything that's used in these products are approved by the FDA for topical use. Everything.
can you give us the timeline? You may have said this, so I apologize if I'm asking for you to repeat it. When did you make the choice to buy the exclusive rights to it? That was
2002.
wow.
But this is a separate entity. Infinity Sun is different from
Okay.
that company. So I no longer work in the automated booth side of the business. I became really passionate about the handheld applications.
So they're different.
They're so different. So the automated booth is the one that you walk into, you press a button, and it automatically sprays you, which you can get, relatively good results from that type of technology. But what I love about the handheld application is you can really customize. You can make the body look more contoured. You can make the face look more contoured. You can make the legs darker and the upper body lighter. You can make the face lighter. So you're not subject to an automatic machine just spraying evenly, consistently
flat,
one color
one
over
color.
you. You can really tailor it to an individual's needs. And what I also love about it is you have like the mobile option. So you have a lot of people that want to start up their own spray tanning businesses, and they don't necessarily want to have a brick and mortar business.
Mhm.
Maybe they want to do it as a side hustle. Maybe they don't want to leave their jobs. Maybe they just want to start out having people come to their houses and spraying their friends and their family, or maybe going to people's houses or spray tanning for events like bodybuilder competitions or
I was
fitness
just thinking that.
competitions
Mhm.
or beauty pageants. You know, we just
Sure.
came off spray tanning Miss USA. We are the official sunless tanning brand at Infinity Sun for Miss USA, and we were just in Reno
Fantastic.
spray tanning. And I had some of my spray tan artists that are customers of Infinity Suns. One from Texas who got to spray Miss Texas, who went on to become Miss USA, and also one from Wichita who got to spray tan, which is wonderful because it helps them grow their businesses in their own states as an official spray tan artist for Infinity Sun for the Miss USA organization. So whether you want to do it as a side gig, you know, a side hustle to earn a few extra dollars, or you want to go on to having a multi-million-dollar business, with this handheld application, you have the flexibility to invest a small amount of money to start small, or to go whole hog and have multiple locations, or even to have your own brand of sunless tanning products with us.
You give that opportunity for folks.
Absolutely.
Just in the US, or is it
Worldwide.
worldwide?
So we've opened over 7,000 businesses with professionals worldwide since 2005.
That's incredible. We've talked a lot about women. I know a few men who really care about, how they look.
Yes.
Do you have a big, let's talk on the business side of things, a lot of men who are business owners within your organization, or is it more female?
It's more female, but I definitely see an increase in male presence
Yeah.
in this industry.
And certainly customer-wise, client-wise.
And client-wise as
Yep.
well, because, men can get skin cancer as well.
Yes,
You
they
know,
can. Well,
men's skin
and
age as well.
they want to look good just
And
like
they
the
wanna
women
look
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Coco Chanel said it best. You can never be too rich, too thin, or too tan.
Yes.
She started the whole thing. You know, she got an amazing tan on a yacht and suddenly became fashionable to be tan, being part of the jet
That really
set.
was kind
It
of the
is.
beginning of this whole
Yes.
idea that tan looked good.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Yes.
Fascinating. So you have brought some products. You want to talk a little bit about what we have?
I did. So I brought a few different things to show to you here. So before I get into the actual products, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get best results for yourself, because you did ask.
Yes.
You did ask. You said you've been out in the sun and you've been maintaining this amazing tan, and now the autumn is here and your tan is starting to fade. So how do you keep that tan going at home?
Mhm.
So the first thing you want to do is you want to get your skin ready to accept the tan. And the best way to do that is to get rid of skin cells that are about to, exfoliate naturally from the
Mhm.
body. So you want to start with a nice even surface of young and healthy skin cells. So you want to exfoliate your skin. So remove the dead skin cells first.
How often am I supposed to be doing that?
So you would do that to remove. It depends on how, like if you have dry patches of skin or if you have old self-tanner, you definitely want to remove those dry patches, hydrate your skin really, really well, remove any old sunless tanner, and start with a nice clean surface.
Mhm.
Then choose your method of self-tanning. It could either be a sunless tanning mist like our Glow on the Go here. We actually make it in travel size as well.
Mhm.
This actually uses compressed air to propel the fluid, so it's not like your typical aerosol. So when you press the actuator, it propels the fluid to a very fine mist, and I'm just going to show you. No matter what angle
Oh, yeah.
spray it at, it's a
Stand
very
that
fine
mic
particle
so our
size.
folks can hear you. There you go.
Sorry. Yes,
No, that's okay.
Very
Love it.
fine particle size. So you
Wow.
can choose your method of self-tanning. It can be a spray like the Glow on the Go mist.
It smells good too.
It's
smells
vanilla.
really good.
Vanilla essential oils. Yes. It's made with vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. And then we have like our gradual self-tanning product, which is also a tan extender. It's called Tan Me BB. BB, because it's a BB cream, or it could be your best friend.
Right.
Tan Me BB. It's a BB cream with a lot of DHA, that sunless tanning ingredient in it. So if you were to apply it every day, like a Jergens, but better, you would gradually build a really nice natural looking tan. And this has in it Renovage, which is a French anti-aging technology that tightens the skin, plumps the skin, and just really gives the skin a much more youthful appearance. I love Tan Me BB. We can't keep this on their shelves. And then another one, if you really want to have deep, dark color immediately and a lot of control, is our Glow on the Go Sunless
Mhm.
Tanning Mousse. And this mousse, when you pump it out, it has a lot of cosmetic bronzer on it. So you can go from white to a really beautiful glow. It's very buildable, so it's not overwhelming. You can just take off the edge, or you can bring it to a nice deep dark color. And this is a rapid formula. So if you rinse off in 2 hours, you get a light tan, 4 hours a medium tan, and 6 or more hours a nice deep dark tan. And it's got hyaluronic acid in it and vitamin A, C, and E. So super hydrating.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And what is this fancy brush and the beautiful little, is it a powder?
Yes.
This carpet doesn't really lend itself to product displays.
Dolce Dust.
Oh, what is Dolce Dust?
So this is a powder. So after you apply your self tanner, or even after you get a spray tan, you would apply the powder over the skin. And what that does is it takes any tackiness out of the skin. So sometimes when you apply a self tanning product, you can feel a little bit sticky and you really don't feel like doing anything or getting dressed. When you apply the finishing powder, it takes away that sort of tacky feeling, which is really nice. You can get dressed right away. It protects the tan so it doesn't transfer a smudge. It doesn't transfer the cosmetic bronzer onto the clothing. And for some people, they develop that DHA sort of smell. It's kind of a starchy smell, which
I probably using not great products back in the day, but yes, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, certain skin does that. And it's really to do with the amino acids in the skin and how it develops that odor. So it will actually deodorize that, so you don't smell that.
The powder
you're
will.
the tendency.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just want this brush on my makeup stand.
It's super
I just
fluffy.
feel so elegant.
Well, I'm
It's just a
actually
very-
gifting all of these to you. I
No.
know I am. I want you to try these
What?
products.
Yee,
Yes.
I'm excited. Daryl's laughing at me over here. Wow. Oh, I'm so honored. I just feel so fortunate. This is exciting. And literally the timing is perfect. I was just thinking that I need to make a shift. I've enjoyed being tan, haven't for years. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I don't have to hibernate again. I get to continue with my self-care routine as it relates to my skin from head to toe.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to invite you into Infinity Sun in the Scottsdale Air Park
I would love that.
do a consultation on you and determine what the best formula is for you, to give you like the
So
full-on
fun.
VIP experience.
Oh, thank you.
So we'll go through and we'll do all of that. And then I'll go through the products and how they work on your skin and how to extend the tan.
Fantastic. Oh, I'm so honored and excited. We had another guest on not too long ago when we were talking about facials and all the, the cool things we can do in a med spa. And again, I was copying myself to, having the lines and what I need to do. So I'm looking forward to having you guys enhance my beauty and help me feel good in my skin. So thank you. Yeah.
Well, I would say that we're bringing out the best shade of you. We're not changing anything. We're
Yes.
just bringing out the best shade for you. And it might be seasonal as well. You may not want to be quite as dark in the wintertime as you want to be in the summertime. And it's really just about having a really nice, healthy glow. When you feel good, you look good, right?
Yes. And I think that's an important distinction, especially for someone with my personality. I want to appear confident and comfortable and attractive. And at the same time, I want to look like Karen. I want to, not that Karen, this Karen.
Absolutely.
I want to be me.
Yes.
So I'm not looking to change anything, but just as you said earlier, like to look in the mirror and go, oh,
Yes.
good, I got this. Yeah, fantastic. Can we go back to your love for animals?
Yes.
Because we talked about your shirt and it says spray for strays. Tell us, what are you
Yes.
doing there?
Sprays for strays. So unfortunately, I lost my co-pilot Snoopy in 2011. And to say that it was the hardest part of my life would be an understatement. He brought me so much love, and honestly, he healed me of a lot of my early life trauma. He taught me what it meant to love something.
Mm-hmm.
And really, truly, I believe healed me of much of my early life trauma and pain, and taught me how to care for something and to love something the way that I feel that I probably should have been loved very early on in my life. So much of the success that I have today, I really attribute to my co-pilot, Snoopy,
That
truly.
bond.
That bond, that love,
10 years together? Do I have the time frame right?
Yeah, 11
Yes,
years.
11 years.
11 years.
Hmm.
So, and I feel like the industry is what it is today because he supported me in making it what it is today. So, as a way to give back and to honor him and what he brought to me and therefore brought to the industry, and also knowing what that bond, that love between a human and an animal can actually bring and the healing that it brings, I really want to support bringing man and dog together. And there are so many dogs out there that are euthanized because there aren't good homes. There aren't enough homes for them. People aren't educated. So I started Sprays for Strays, which is a fundraising organization that raises money through the sunless tanning industry to give to rescue groups all over the country to pull dogs out of the pounds and shelters and to pay for things like spays and neuters, vaccinations, if there are behavioral issues that may have, made it difficult for an owner to keep them, to help with those kind of issues. If there are medical issues that perhaps their former owner couldn't afford to pay for them, we might handle something like, so for example, not long ago, there was a dog that was in somebody's garage here in Phoenix. And it was a little girl. She posted something on Facebook saying, "There's this dog in pain in my garage and my parents won't help. Will somebody come and get this dog?" And this dog turned out, it looked like he was hit by a car and he had 2 broken hips. So the type of thing that we might do is partner with a rescue organization and raise money to help pay for the surgery. So he ended up having 2 FHO surgeries on his hip. So now he went from a dog who was in pain and couldn't even walk to now running and jumping on tables and sprinting in dog parks and living his best life. So those are the kind of things that we do as an organization. So we raise money to help the people who are in the trenches, the rescue organizations that go into the pounds and shelters and pull the dogs to pay for the things that are necessary to get the dogs out of the situation into their homes. But also, on the other side of that, we're also helping the spray tan artists or the spray tanning businesses who are members of Sprays for Strays that do the fundraisers to help promote their businesses as well. So it's a way for them to give back. Many of the women, and I keep saying women because it's majority women, but there are a lot of men that have spray tanning businesses who love their dogs too, and that are very active in the dog rescue world. So it's a way for them to feel like they're giving back and their appreciation. Many of them start their businesses so they can be with their dogs too.
Of course.
So they know, they know exactly. So we're supporting that as well and helping to grow their businesses.
Incredible. And I've been listening, obviously, very carefully, and you've used the word industry a handful of times, not just talking about Infinity Sun, you just even industry-wide, because you are the industry, and you've been leading the pack, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I've been at it a long time.
A long time.
18 years.
So impressive. And you never thought that when you were that 14-year-old girl and having people make fun of your skin color and being so intimidated. I mean, maybe that's not the right word, but being embarrassed by that. And then going into IT, here you are.
Yeah. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I would never have imagined that I would have reached the level professionally that I have. But beyond that, that I would have a life that I enjoy living so much and that I would be surrounded by people who used to terrify me at one point. But I feel equal to them. I feel I feel like I inspire them. I feel like I empower them, and I live my life every day in a way that truly I feel that it was a blessing that I went through all the things that I went through early in my life, because right now, the success I have, I can bring the compassion, knowing what it felt like back then, to help other people to have better lives for themselves as well,
All the way around.
all the way around.
Yeah, what a culminating experience between your love for animals and your own journey as a young girl, in addition to the IT background, and then, of course, this beautiful industry that you've fallen in love with and clearly has fallen in love with you. Yeah, I'm fascinated. I'll look at my notes, make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, well, so what are the plans for the future?
So many plans. Well, right now, I'm super excited because somebody nominated me to enter this competition called the Fab 40. And the prize package is $40,000. There's a write-up in New Beauty magazine, a two-page spread, and I love New Beauty. I read it all the time. I absolutely love it, and a spa day, and I'm a spa addict. One of the
Oh,
things I love
good.
about being in Scottsdale is there are so many amazing spas. But with the winnings, if I win, and I'm really hoping that I do, I will take all of the winnings and put it into Sprays for Strays. It'll be the
How did I know
opportunity
you were gonna say that?
it'll be the opportunity for me to hire more people to help me achieve what it is that I'm looking to do. Because right now I'm just, I'm under-resourced. I'm looking to hire for a number of key positions in my company. I'm looking to bring in a director of operations that has experience in manufacturing. I'm looking to bring in various people to do customer service, to do sales. And I haven't allocated resource to Sprays for Strays because Infinity Sun and Sunless Labs & Co., which is our contract manufacturing lab that makes products for people in the beauty industry that want to have their own brands. So that's where all of the funds are being allocated. So I haven't really allocated funds towards Sprays for Strays.
This would do it.
So this would do
How,
it.
so is it the kind of thing where people vote, or is there a
Yes.
okay, so what is your ask?
My ask is for people to vote.
Good, and is
They
it, do we get
vote
to
for
watch a
me.
video? Do we just see a photo? Like, how do we, and is anybody can participate?
Anybody can
Okay.
participate. So if you go to my Instagram, for example, just at Veronique Monroe, yeah, you can go on there. And every day I'm actually going to be posting the link to vote here. And all you have to do is just click on it and vote. You can
Once
vote
a day.
every single
Yeah.
day. And that will help me hopefully to get my goal of getting this 40,000 to like really be able to fund Sprays for Strays and to save more dogs and to empower more businesses and to thank Snoopy, to thank
Yes.
Snoopy and bring more dogs and people together to create these amazing lives.
Incre-
That's really my goal.
Well, we're ready to help you do that. And how long is the
9 days.
9 days, and
9
it's
days.
already
It just started yesterday.
okay. Perfect timing. Very good. I haven't mentioned this, but growing up, Snoopy and the Peanuts characters were our favorite growing up as a family. My maiden name is Schultz, Schulz, instead of Ulz, and my dad's name is Charles. So we used to pretend we grew up in Northern California, and I believe Charles Schultz grew up in,
Yes.
I was going to say Petaluma, but nearby Santa Rosa, I think.
Mhm.
And so we would pretend like our dad was legitimately Charles Schultz. We'd have him sign things. Do you remember those little, I don't know what you'd call them, but you could put a piece of paper on a platform and you could trace around it and make it look like you literally drew the Peanuts characters yourself. We'd like, here,
Yes.
Dad, sign this. And then we'd show up to school. Here you go. It's from my dad.
That's
It's
amazing.
so
I
funny.
love that. That's
Yeah.
our Snoopy connection.
Yes, it is our Snoopy connection. I'm ecstatic to get to know you. I'm really deeply appreciative of the products. The timing could not be more perfect. And I humbly accept your invitation to come up and have a VIP experience and get to know
Thank
you
you.
better. And I too, my daughter and I love spas. So we'll have to make a plan to go spend the day at a spa together. I think my daughter would quite enjoy getting to know you as well. I'm going to look at my notes one more time, but before we kind of come to an end with our conversation today, is there anything else that you had thought that when we got to be on air together, and hopefully you forgot we were on air, and she said she was nervous today. You haven't missed a beat. Is there anything that I haven't thought to ask you that you want to make sure that our listeners are aware of?
I think there are a lot of people out there who right now are looking for change. Since COVID, a lot of people are starting to look inside and ask themselves the question of, am I doing what I love? Am I living my best life? If things were to end tomorrow, am I being authentic? Am I being true to myself? And for many people right now, the opportunity to start their own business is a real thing. So I invite anybody, any of your listeners out there who are thinking, I really don't know what to do, to feel free to call and see if starting a little spray tanning business might be the right thing for them. It might be. It might be just what you need. Every single day I hear from people that their lives have been changed by starting spray tanning businesses. So if there's anybody out there who's thinking, I really need to change my life, could this be for me? Definitely call our office. I would love to talk to you and see if this is something we can help you with.
The price point's extremely reasonable.
It
It's
is.
accessible.
Yes.
And you had pointed out earlier that people can do it as a side gig, as they're
Yes.
trying to phase out maybe a career that isn't working for them. I
Yes.
love that you pointed out COVID as well, because of course, we have conversations like this all day long, and COVID has brought us many blessings, as many difficult times as it's created for us. We are relooking at, how am I spending my time?
Yes.
Am I spending it with the people that I love? Am I
Yes.
working such crazy hours that I can't afford to spend time with my family, my pets, which is my family, I mean, and the friends
Yes.
that I care about? And can I do things differently with so many people working from home now?
Yes.
Really well pointed out. And it's simply a call to the office then.
Yeah, definitely.
And so infinitysun.com is the
Yes.
website, and you're on LinkedIn as Infinity dash Sun, also on Facebook as Infinity Sun Spray, and Instagram, where you're going to be voting
Yeah.
on a daily basis for the next 8 days. So fun. What else did I forget? You alluded to this, that it really can, the business can be as lucrative as somebody wants it to be.
Yes. So for people, just to give you an idea, it takes about 3 minutes to do a full body spray tan.
Really?
Your cost per tan is anywhere from $1.50 to $2. And the average price for a spray tan ranges anywhere from $55 to $250 if you go
Wow.
mobile.
Yeah.
So if you run the numbers, I mean, I have clients that say, I only want to do 2 spray tans a day, and I want the rest of my day free to study and learn new skills, or, spend time with my kids, or
Mhm.
paint
Yes.
or do whatever it is that I want to do. So it can be as small or as big as you want. I've got clients opening their 3rd, 4th, 5th location. I've got clients that do 20 spray tans a day that now want their own line of products. So we're creating proprietary
Yes, you
formulas
mentioned
for
that.
them,
Let's
having their own brands, and you can earn 50,000 a year, 100,000 a year, a half a million a year, or multi-million if you want to, just depending on how far you want to take it.
And you are clearly a mentor and a guide, and someone who
Yes.
loves to share the wealth and experience and care and love on people and animals too, of course.
Yes.
Yes. And do you do most of the training yourself, or do you have a team who's been
I have a team of
Uh-huh.
trainers. I do some of the trainings, and then I also have a team of trainers.
Wow. All right. I can't wait to get to know you better. This has been fascinating. So again, connect with infinitysun.com on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Also be voting so that the $40,000 recipient will be you, so that you can go ahead and put it back towards Sprays for Strays. And is it a 501c3?
It is.
It is. It is a
Yes.
registered 501c3.
It is.
Wow. And you have a huge tribe and community that's supporting all those efforts.
Not huge,
Well,
but we're trying to grow it.
I
So-
heard you say you're it right now, and with a small little group of people helping.
Yes.
However, it sounds like the business owners and the people in the
Yes.
industry show up and support when they
Yes.
can. That's what I meant by that. But I did hear you clearly say
Yes.
it's a party of a handful of people, maybe just one.
Absolutely.
And you're looking to build.
Indeed. And the website for Sprays for
Oh, good.
Strays is just spraysforstrays.com.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. And by the way, I've listened to several of your shows, and I've gotten so much out of them.
Oh, I'm
so
so
sitting here
glad.
with you, I feel like I'm in the presence of a celebrity.
Well,
so thank
likewise.
you.
How nice. We can just fangirl over each
Right.
other. That's wonderful. And you really were spot on. I'm gonna cop you out right now. So you said she was extremely nervous before we went on air, and you were a pro. And I said to you, anybody who comes in as nervous as you are, they always end up just nailing it. And you did exactly that. So thank you for trusting me with your success story today and with your time. Really, really a pleasure. You've been listening to Phoenix Business Radio, broadcasting live from the Mac 6 Entrepreneur Center right here in Tempe, Arizona. Some media leans left, some lean right, and we lean business and the love for animals. Thanks for listening. I'm Karen Nowicki. We'll connect with you next time.